Rama Rama Hare Hare Nittai Gaur Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nittai Gaur Hari Bo Nittai Gaur Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nittai Gaur Hari Bo Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Jai Shila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Shila Prabhupada. Nittai Gaur Premanande
Haribo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Sarasatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirayat
Tato Jayamudirayet
Nastaprayeshu Babadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki.
We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, text number 26. Janmaishvarya Shruta Shribir
Janmaishvarya Shruto Shribir
Edamana Madapuman
Yedamana Madapunan
Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai
Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai
Tvam Akinchana Gocharam
Tam Kinchana Gocharam
Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribir
Janma Aishvarya Shruta Shribir
Edamana Madapuman
Edamana Madapuman
Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai
Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai
Tvam Akinchana Gocharam
Tvam Kinchana Gocharam
Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribir
Janma Aishvarya Shruta Shribir
Edamana Madapuman
Edamana Madapuman
Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai
Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai
Tvam Akinchana Gocharam
Tvam Kinchana Gocharam Janmaishvarya Shruta Shribir
Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribir
Edamana Madapuman
Edamana Madapuman
Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai
Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai
Tvam Kinchana Gocharam
Tvam Akinchana Gocharam
Janmaishvarya Shruta Sribhir
Janmaishvarya Shruta Shribir
Edamana Madapuman
Edamana Madapuman
Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai
Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai
Tvam Akinchana Gocharam
Tvam
Akinchana Gocharam
Janma
Janma
birth
birth,
Aishwarya,
Aishwarya,
opulence,
opulence,
Shruta,
Shruta,
education,
education,
Shribi,
Shribi,
by the possession of beauty,
by the possession of beauty,
Edamana,
Vedamana,
progressively increasing,
progressively increasing,
Mada,
Mada,
intoxication,
intoxication,
Puman,
Puman,
the human being,
human being,
Na,
Na,
never,
never,
Eva,
Eva,
ever,
ever,
Arhati,
Arhati,
deserves,
deserves,
Abidatum,
Avidatum,
to address in feeling,
to address in feeling,
Vai,
Vai,
certainly,
certainly,
Tvam,
Tvam,
you,
you,
Akinchana Gocharam,
Kinchana Gocharam,
one who is approached easily by the materially exhausted man.
one who is approached
easily by the materially exhausted man.
Translation. My Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feelings. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Being materially advanced means taking birth in an aristocratic family and possessing great wealth, and education, and attractive personal beauty. All materialistic men are mad after possessing all these material opulences, and this is known as the advancement of material civilization. But the result is that by possessing all these material assets, one becomes artificially puffed up, intoxicated by such temporary possessions. Consequently, such materially puffed up persons are incapable of uttering the holy name of the Lord by addressing him feelingly, O Govinda, O Krishna. It is said in the Shastras that by once uttering the holy name of the Lord, the sinner gets rid of a quantity of sins that he is unable to commit. Such is the power of uttering the holy name of the Lord. There is not the least exaggeration in this statement. Actually, the Lord's holy name has such powerful potency, but there is a quality to such utterances also. It depends on the quality of feeling. A helpless man can feelingly utter the holy name of the Lord, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. A materially puffed up person may utter the holy name of the Lord occasionally, but he is incapable of uttering the name in quality. Therefore, the four principles of material advancement, namely 1. High parentage, 2. Good wealth, 3. High education, and 4. Attractive beauty are, so to speak, disqualifications for progress on the path of spiritual advancement. The material covering of the pure spirit soul is an external feature, as much as fever is an external feature of the unhealthy body. The general process is to decrease the degree of the fever and not to aggravate it by maltreatment. Sometimes it is seen that spiritually advanced persons become materially impoverished. This is no discouragement. On the other hand, such impoverishment is a good sign, as much as the falling of temperature is a good sign. The principle of life should be to decrease the degree of material intoxication, which leads one to be more and more illusioned about the aim of life. Greedy, liberated persons are quite unfit for entrance into the kingdom of God. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Okay. So Queen Kunti is continuing her words to Lord Krishna, and she's describing today how the things which we value so much in the material world, that these things are actually harmful to our spiritual progress. We may want to approach Lord Krishna, but Lord Krishna, He does not like us to approach Him with material motives. So Queen Kunti said, the Lord can easily be approached, but you have to be materially exhausted. So in other words, if we're still thinking, contemplating to enjoy the material world, then we're not exhausted yet. We still have some dreams, some plans, finding some happiness and some comforts and success in the material world. And so long as we're thinking like that, then it's going to restrict our attempt to approach Krishna. Because Krishna doesn't want that kind of relationship. He wants that we approach Him. We should be completely disgusted with the material world. All right, we've given up the attempt to enjoy the material world. Right? Akinchana gocharam. So akinchana means one who has something. So akinchana, one who has nothing. He's given up everything. This is required. Then it becomes easy to approach Krishna. So Prabhupada describes when we have these material things, the good birth, the money, the good looks, the education, these things, this is going to restrict our feelings for Krishna, because we become proud of these things. We become intoxicated by these things. Intoxication, pride, right? And that's against our regulated principles. We should give up all kinds of intoxication. And the most dangerous intoxication, pride in these material things. So, then Prabhupada talks about how so long as we're attached to the material world, we won't be able to call the name of the Lord with proper feelings, with proper devotion. And Prabhupada explains how there's quality in the chanting of the holy name. There's namaparad, offensive chanting. There's namabhas, the shadow of the name, and shuddhanam, the pure name. So when we chant even namabhas, then we can get rid of the sins. If we chant even the shadow of the name, you can get rid of the sins. But it's not so easy to chant namabhas, because we have so many material desires, and that's offensive to the chanting of the holy name, right? We were just saying the 10 offenses. To maintain material attachment, Even after receiving many instructions, it's an offense, right? So we have to be very careful not to commit offenses. So long as we're committing offenses against the holy name, we won't get the real mercy of the holy name. So Prabhupada said, everything depends on the quality of feeling. When we have nothing to be attached to, then we can chant the name with more quality. But somebody chants the holy name and they're comfortable in their material life and they're satisfied with their material life, then they won't be able to chant the same. It won't have the same effect. So Prabhupada talks about the fever. Just like if you have the fever, you want to reduce the fever to the normal temperature, right? You get some fever, you want to bring the temperature down to but modern society, their process is to increase the fever. There's a story about the young boy had the fever, so parents brought the doctor to treat the boy. And the doctor gave him an injection. He gave the injection, the boy died. Parents said, oh look, the boy's dead. Doctor said, fever's gone. Right, fever's gone, no more fever. But patient died, so, that's not very good, right? So modern life is like that. It takes impersonalism is like to make the fever zero, to kill the material existence. So impersonalism is not the answer. And increasing the fever is just making the situation worse if you increase the fever. So people think they want more education, they want to be more beautiful, they want to have more money and like that. So these things, every material world, people are all engrossed in that, trying to improve their material situation. They're all trying to increase the fever. They already have the fever and they want to increase it more. So this is the problem. So spiritual advancement means to get free of all this material attachment. So people are so illusioned by the material world, they're thinking the aim of life is, to get money. They think this is my success. So many people get money that they get it by lying and cheating and stealing. They don't get the money honestly, And they think, they're very successful, they made a lot of money. And how they did it, by lying and cheating and so many things. And then people want education. They will do so many things for education and study for so many years. Education is just another business. You have to pay so much money for education. It's, who can pay more money than you can get the higher education. Mm-hmm. People go and study for years. In Malaysia, the people there, they will borrow money. They'll have to pay back for the rest of their life, just so their daughter or son can get some education. And this education, Prabhupada called that modern education, modern universities, it's the slaughterhouses. Slaughterhouses. You go to the universities, it's like a slaughterhouse. They learn all bad habits at the university. They go there and they associate together and they start drinking and then drugs, free sex, young men and young women living together without marriage. It's very common, all in the name of education. Oh, we're educated. We're enjoying education. So They don't know what is real education means. To understand I'm not the body, but people who are going for education, they're all in the bodily consciousness. They're going to enhance their bodily condition. So we're not the body. That's real education. But they don't want that kind of education. And then people want beauty. They will spend so much money to be beautiful. They want the color of their eyes changed. You know, in Japan, people will go, they want to have blue eyes instead of black eyes. And they go, they'll spend a lot of money. People will spend a lot of money for their hair, the nails, as you were seeing, the nails, they'll spend so much money, the hair, the nails, the skin. It's all the skin disease, the bodily disease. There's that one shop, the body shop.
Body shop.
The body shop, you know. It's all the body, you know. People, of course, they're very concerned about the material body. Make the body beautiful. So they want to try to change their bodily condition. All of these things, it's all in relation to the body. High parentage. Oh, we're high class. We're very high class family. Or why are they high class? You know, it's all very temporary in the material world. And people don't realize the nature of these things. They work so hard to get these things, which are so temporary. They're finished with the body. You may have so much money. What do you do with all your money? Time of death. We were hearing yesterday from the Ramayana, right?
Yeah.
We were telling about Vibhishan. Vibhishan said, when I die, he said, put all those sorts, throw it all around. Because it came from the earth and it goes back to the earth. When you leave the body, you cannot take anything with you. Your education, your money, your beauty, it's all finished with the body. But people are so attached to the body, they don't realize the temporary nature of all of these things.
Not use this. Please continue, Guru.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we're explaining these 4 goals of life. What people think the goals of life. They're simply material things, and they're finished with the body. But people think, oh, this is the advancement of material civilization. Materialistic man, they're thinking they're advanced by having more money, by being more educated, by having born in a big prestigious family. And so the illusion of the body is going to obstruct our devotion to Krishna. The more we're attached to the body, the less we can have attraction to Krishna and to the holy name. The more we're absorbed in material life, then the less we will have a taste for the holy name. It will certainly obstruct our chanting of the holy name. So we have to, if we really want to develop Krishna consciousness, we have to appreciate all of these things that it's temporary. Now, of course, we can't expect everyone to give these things up. You're living in family life and you have family, you have responsibilities, you have to do something, you have to have some education, we have to take care to look nice, you have to have some money, and so on. But we have to understand these things are temporary, and we shouldn't be in any illusion about these things. If we're bewildered by these things, overly attached to all of these things, then it will certainly obstruct our devotion to Krishna. So it's no harm in having these things, but don't be attached to them. And we have to understand how temporary they are. And so the real goal of life is to develop our attraction for Lord Krishna. So if we're bewildered by opulence and we're bewildered by our bodily beauty, then we will never be able to approach Krishna. At least not sincerely. We won't have any sincere purpose in our approaching Krishna, because we're attached to all of these material things. So we have to understand all of these things, the opulences of the material world, that they're all given by the grace of Krishna. And sometimes Krishna gives you and sometimes Krishna doesn't. We shouldn't be mad after them. Whatever is given, we use it for the service of Krishna. And if we don't have something, all right, then we accept it, that Krishna hasn't given us these things. We have to recognize that ultimately there's a higher controller in the material world. And don't be bewildered about the material energy. Don't be overly attached to all these things. People sacrifice their whole life, education, studying so many years, year after year, studying another degree. They're studying and they get nowhere. Ultimately, their life is over. So education and bodily beauty, people in Singapore, they will come, they will spend so much money, the women, they want to lose weight, you know. They're already thin, but they want to lose more weight. And they'll spend a fortune to do that. And same with education, you spend so much money for education. And then people want to get money. They will do so many things to get money. They will do so much that sometimes people will gamble, and there's a lot of lying and cheating at business, and will do so many things. There were these two devotees. They were doing business together, so they made a lot of money. It happened, but the one devotee took all the money. And the other devotee said, hey, you know, I'm supposed to get a share of the money, you know, I opened the business with you, you know, you should give me the share of the money. And the other devotee said, why are you so attached? You took all the money, you know. He said, don't be attached. So even devotees are like that sometimes, you know. They will cheat even their other devotees to get the money. No. An aristocratic family. What's a good family? What is the aristocratic family? Because they're rich, or because they have some position in society. We think they're very great, but we don't know really what's behind it all. Where did they get their wealth? How did they get their fame? They're famous for being for being rich, but often they get their money by so many crooked means. And you find that if you think, oh, they're a high-class family, they're meat eaters, they're drunkards, they gamble, they have so much illicit connection with the opposite sex. This is aristocratic family. They have so many bad habits. So what is actually aristocratic. People don't know anymore. Everywhere people are mad after sinful activities. They're so absorbed in sinful activities. And that's why they want money. They get money, they get education. Education for what? To get more money. Ultimately, they're all interested in getting more money, and they want more money for more sense gratification.
Maybe fame also, Guru Maharaj? Fame?
Well, fame, what kind of fame is being educated?
We can say, right, I am PhD and doctor, engineer. You need a position in the...
Yeah, some little bit recognition, you could say. Recognize that they went to university, they went through, that they did all this, and they finished, get their degree. Like last night, the young girl was getting her graduation in medicine, right?
Yeah, right.
So the family all came to witness, you know. What is this?
Education.
Education.
Does Kunti mean Janma also means high parentage, means like very good birth, like Brahmana family? Is it like that, or?
Yeah.
That is also there.
Yeah. Yeah. Janma. Yeah, good birth like Brahmana family. Aristocratic family. High class family. Oh, this person, he's a Malecha, he's a Yavana. I'm a Brahmana. Right? People make distinction, prejudice like that. Who is actually advanced and who's not. So it's all very materialistic judgment. Somebody is high class. What is high class, you know? You can go and see how they live and the habits which they have, and they're supposed to be high class. They do not know anything about Shastra. They never read the book, any book. They never chanted the holy name. And they eat everything. They have all bad habits, but they're considered high class because maybe they have some money or they have some position in the government or something like that. So people are very prejudiced though about these things. They're very prejudiced. They want to see their family married into the high class family. So the high class family should be rich. They should have some position in the community. And then they think, oh, very, very good, high class people. But their habits, they can be sinful, they can be corrupted, they can be easily degraded. And they have no devotion, they have no interest to approach the Lord. They never go to temple, they never read the Shastra, they never chant the holy name, and they're considered high class. So certainly, you want to approach Krishna, we have to become disgusted with the material world. So when we actually take initiation, we're declaring war on the material energy. We're giving up our attempt to enjoy the material world. We're actually declaring the war on the material energy, that this material energy is all just so much illusion. It's just such a waste of time. We're spending all of our time trying to enjoy the material world, which is so temporary. So we should be thinking how to get out of this material world, how to get away from the material energy. Or at least we want to use these things in the service of Krishna. So you have money, you can use it for Krishna. You're born in a good family, you're well educated, very good looking, you have these qualities, use them for Krishna. Use them to go out and preach and tell people about Krishna. People will be impressed. Oh, he's a very high class, he's high class. Oh, and he's a devotee. Oh, we think, okay, Krishna consciousness must be good. Right? The young women go out, they're very attractive, and they preach, and the young men are interested. Oh, very nice. They're attracted by the young women. And so many young women, they would go out and preach. They could distribute many books, and they bring young men. Every day they bring a different man, to the temple. So young women, they have that, use their beauty for the service of Krishna, to bring people to Krishna consciousness. And someone's educated, okay, you use your education to tell people about Krishna. So that's how it should be. We should use everything for the service of Krishna. Not that it's for our sense gratification. Right? That's the problem. That people do these, they want good looks, they want they want education, they want money, everything. It's all for their sense gratification. They're only thinking about their sense, they're not thinking about the real goal of life, which is to get out of the material world. But they're thinking how to enjoy more in the material world. How to enjoy in this place. But Prabhupada explained in the previous verses, this world is not meant for enjoyment. There's danger everywhere. It's all danger. We have to understand the nature of the material existence. There will be problems, there will be troubles. And we should be thinking how to get out, how to get free from this world. So this is the program. This is why this verse is important. We have to understand how to become qualified to go back to Krishna. And one of the qualifications is we should be tired of material life. We should want to just simply become Krishna conscious. That's important for us. We want to go beyond birth and death. We have to get free of birth and death. If we have to come back again in the material world, we failed. So we have to be determined that we want to get the shelter of Krishna. We want to approach the Lord, the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay, any questions? Those who are on this path. Have to.
Yesterday I spoke with a friend, a Christian friend, and I said, before you let's say right now, take the mayor, in Russia. Because tomorrow we're going to be today, and tomorrow and when life at yours after spiritual life, but when you look at the beautiful sunset, beautiful,
Can understand?
Tree, the lake, the reflection of the sun in the rain, it's such a beautiful stuff.
Pirangela Prabhu, actually the clarity is not there with your, we could hear you, but we can't understand what you are saying. Maybe you connect directly without any headphones.
So said, how do you understand that before it's not the ultimate that walk and mark up to
Prabhuji, your voice is broken and very unclear. Maybe you can share your question in the chat. because we cannot hear you. I'm sorry. Not better. Yeah, please share your question in the chat and we can read. We cannot hear, sorry. Prabhuji, so please share your question in the chat because your sound is very unclear. Okay, Guru Maharaj, can I also ask the question?
Yes.
Prabhuji shared his question in the chat.
Okay.
So, I will read Guru Maharaj. How can we understand a ephemeral world? E-P-H-E-M-E-R-E.
What is that? How can we understand?
How can we understand the illusory world? He used the word ephemeral.
What word did he use?
Ephemeral, I don't know how to read correctly, Guru Maharaj. So this means, and eternity of the soul, he said.
Oh.
The illusion of the world and the eternity of the soul.
Oh. How can we understand that?
Yeah.
Well, we can understand that by our own, just by looking and experiencing the material world. That we see everyone, so many great men, they built big empires for themselves, but they all had to leave the world. They all died in the course of time, and their empires also collapsed. Their empire also finished. There was the Roman Empire, there was the Greek Empire, even the British, they had an empire, and it's all finished in course of time. Everything is finished, it's all ending with the body, because the body also ends. Nobody conquers over time. So everyone has a material body. Bhagavad Gita said, we take birth, we have to die. Everyone has to die. We have to be ready to leave the material world. So we have to understand the nature of material existence, that is temporary. Just by observation, we can see everything is decaying. Everything is gradually dwindling. We build homes, the home also gets old, it starts to break down. You buy a car, and then the car also gets old gradually. You have to repair the car, you have to get a new car. You get a mobile phone, your mobile phone also wears out. You have to get a new mobile phone in course of time. So many, the body is like that. The body also wears out. And we give up one body, we'll take another body. So we have to see the nature of the material existence. That is not hidden from us. Everyone can see how the world is deteriorating, how everything is decaying. Big buildings, they also gradually break down. They get old and they have to be knocked down, or they have to be all renovated. So that in this way, just by looking at the world, we see how the world is temporary, how it's decaying. And then how can we understand the eternal nature of the soul? That is more difficult. to understand the eternal nature of the soul. We don't see that. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that, you know, you don't see the soul because the soul is not material. The soul is spiritual. So to see the soul, you have to have spiritual vision. And we have to learn how to see things guided by Shastra. Just like we understand within everyone, there's a material, everyone has a material body, and within the body there's the soul. And so when somebody passes away, when they leave the world, people will say they have gone. The person is gone. But the body's still there, but the soul is gone. The consciousness is gone with the soul. So consciousness, that's the symptom of life. And when the soul leaves the body, then there's no more consciousness in the body. And so all the chemicals are there, all the parts of the body are there, but the person is dead. Why? What's the difference? The soul left the body. So we understand there's an eternal spiritual particle within the body. And every living entity, they have a soul. The animals also have souls. And the trees and plants, they also have souls. So every living entity is a spirit soul. And because the soul is there in the body has life. But when the soul leaves the body, then it becomes a dead body. So the difference between the living body and the dead body, there's no soul in the dead body. So we have to understand the nature of the soul. That for some time lives in the material body. But when the material body breaks down, material body becomes diseased, becomes no longer useful, then the soul will give up the body and will leave the body, take another body. So yes, it's difficult to understand the soul. But if we're introspective, if we're thoughtful, and if we hear, if we hear from the Shastra, then we can understand there's a soul. It's not difficult. Just like Prabhupada gave the example, he would say, my hand, my arm, my head, my leg, my body. Who is the owner of the body? The owner of the body is the soul living in the body. So we say my. Who's the proprietor? Who's the owner of this body? That is the soul. So in this way we understand there's a spiritual existence within everything. The body changes, but we are still the same. The body's changing, all the cells in the body are changing, but we don't change. We still have the same name, just a different body. We have to understand who is within the body. There's a soul, the eternal soul. We are all souls. We're all spiritual beings. So this is self-realization. To understand our own self, this requires some purification. We have to hear and we have to be thoughtful and consider this carefully to understand the nature of existence. That the body is temporary and the soul is eternal. So thank you for that question. Prabhu. Any other question? Yuvati?
Guru Maharaj, Prabhu has one more question. So can I read?
Okay.
So, what about Varnashram Dharma? The society must be structured. So, we need some education in the human society.
Well, yes, what is real education? Real education is to understand, first of all, you're not the body. That is real education. People need jobs, all right? You don't need to study at university for many years just to do simple jobs. You know, people, they need to learn reading and writing and arithmetic. A little basic arithmetic and reading and writing. They have to learn then they can read the Shastra. That is education. But people they'll devote so many years of their life to studying things which are not very important. They will study the grass, they will study how the grass grows, they will study plants, they will study animals, they will study humans. They study so many different things about the world, but they never understand the real nature of the world. They only understand the material, they're only looking at the material aspects of it. Yeah, people need jobs, they have to work. What kind of work? You've got the Brahminical class who are educated, who are studying Shastra, and they're teaching and guiding people materially and spiritually. And then you've got the Kshatriya class who are administrators, who are managing, who are good in looking after things and organizing things. Then you've got the Vaishya, who are the business class of people. They like to buy and sell. And then you've got the Sudras, who are the workers. So the Sudra class of people, they work under the direction of the other class of people. They're told what to do. So that in every society, everywhere in the world, we will see there are these four different classes of people. You've got the educated people, you've got the administrator, you've got the business people, and you've got the worker. So Varnashram is already there by the arrangement of God. Of course, we don't put labels on people. That's not required. But what's really lacking is the Brahminical class, the real educated class of people. That they're not educated in spiritual knowledge. They're only educated in material things. They've only studied the material energy, and they have no knowledge, they have no understanding about the spiritual energy. So that's lacking. And then Kshatriyas are meant to protect people. They're meant to give protection. And of course, Vaishyas, they're meant to protect the cows. So these things have to be done. These things are lacking. Protecting the cows and protecting the people from being cheated and misguided. The Kshatriya class should do that. And the Brahminical class, they're meant to lead. They're meant to show the example of detached work. They're meant to work in a detached way. There has to a class of people who are not material, who are not selfish. Most of the world people are just selfish and they want to get money for themselves. But the Brahmana class, they're meant to be renounced, and they're meant to be detached. They're not interested in their own well-being. Rather, they want to see other people happy, taken care of. All right? So in this way we understand Varnashram, the needs of Varnashram, organizing society, Yeah. You don't need to spend years at university to do these things. Vaishya doesn't need to go to college. Sudra doesn't need to go to college. You know, a few Brahmins, they go and study. Okay?
There are some more questions in the chat
Okay.
from Shivani. Shivani's phone. So Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji, how to stop overthinking? Any strategies to avoid overthinking?
How to stop overthinking?
Yeah.
Well, how to stop overthinking, you have to learn to control your mind. Right? Thinking that's the business of the mind. What happens? We're thinking about sense gratification. We're thinking what I'll have for breakfast. We're thinking what I'm going to do today. We're thinking about what's my economic situation like. We're thinking all of these, we're thinking things for our sense gratification. We have to learn to control the mind and focus the mind on some other thing than just sense gratification. Of course, sense gratification has to be there, but it has to be controlled, it has to be regulated. So this is important. So thinking too much, I mean, it's good to think. The question is, what are you thinking? We cannot stop thinking, cannot stop the mind, but we can control the quality of what we think about. If we just simply think about sense gratification, then that is not good. We should think about doing service to Krishna. We should think about what we hear from the Shastra. You read the Shastra, you can remember something, and then you can think about it more with others. You can discuss Shastra with other people. So you cannot stop the mind, but we can control the quality of what we're thinking. So it's very important to chant Hare Krishna. The chanting of the Maha Mantra is the best way to stop you thinking. Instead of thinking, you should hear and chant. You have to hear more and you have to chant. Then you can stop all this thinking all the time. So this is important. You do more hearing and chanting. Do more hearing, read the Shastra, and hear the classes, hear the different lectures. In this way, keep your mind absorbed in good things, in quality thoughts. All right?
Thank you Maharaji.
Yes? Thank you for your question, Shimani. Any other?
Maharaj?
Yes?
Yeah. I also have a question. So Guru Maharaj, sometimes we are very exhausted in material world. Yes, it's indeed. And we are very tired of material world, but we have no real attraction to Krishna, and that's why people sometimes search the impersonal conceptions. So how can we avoid it, and how can we overcome such a stage faster?
Well, we have to be, as you said, we have no attraction to Krishna. This is the problem. We have to have association. We have to take some association with devotees. And we have to develop an attraction for Krishna. Actually, everyone is attracted to Krishna, but we're trying to avoid it. We are attracted, we like rich people. Krishna is the richest. We like intelligent people. Krishna is the most intelligent. We like good-looking people. Krishna is the the best looking. So in so many ways, Krishna is all attractive. So how is it you're not attracted to Krishna? It's not natural. Actually, everybody is attracted to Krishna. We're attracted to so many things, other things. But you can find all of these things in Krishna. So we have to turn back to Krishna, come to Krishna. It takes, again, we have to discipline the mind and the senses, controlling the mind and the senses, bring the mind back. Just like some animals, they will eat stool. The fly goes to the sore. Wherever there's some infection on the skin, the fly will land there. And so we should not be like the fly, always going to the sores and the dirty thing. We should be like the bee. The bee will go to the pollen. The bee will take the nectar from the flowers. The bee knows where to get the nectar. So we should be like the bee. Don't be like the fly and go always to the sore, the dirty thing, the contaminated place. We have to control the mind, and then we have to bring the mind to Krishna. So go to temple, we say go to temple, and here, associate with the devotees. We don't need to go to temple even, you have mobile phone, you can go online, and you're getting so much association. But we need to hear, we need to chant, read Prabhupada's books and study, and in this way become Krishna conscious. Change the consciousness. Instead of being conscious of just only Maya and sense gratification, just only conscious of eating and sleeping, we want to be conscious of Krishna, doing service for Krishna. And we can experience the higher pleasure, the nature of devotional service, working full of compassion for others. Krishna consciousness is concerned about other people, trying to do things to help people for the good of society. So devotees want to work like that, work for the benefit of others, giving Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name, telling people about Krishna. Okay? In this way, naturally, attraction for Krishna will come.
Thank you very much, Guru.
Alright, any other question? Okay, then we will stop here today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki,
Jai.
Premanande.
Bhakti Vigna Vinash Narsimha Maharaj ki. Jai.
Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.